guys, as we're approaching 2027 here very quickly, there is a monumental shift that's happening for everybody that's in technology, that uses technology. And we have clients that are well in their 60s and 70s that are making this shift. So if you're like, oh, old dogs can't learn new tricks, I'd say that's absolutely a self-limiting excuse for you. And the shift is here, and the shift is this. It's instead of the old way of using technology, where you're logging into a dashboard and figuring out how to, watch tutorials or, get trainings or click on stuff for hours at a time, trying to figure out how a new piece of software or, user interface works. That's the old way of doing things. And that's the way you had to do it before, right? There was no alternative, but the alternative is now here. And the alternative is, frankly, a lot easier than it used to be. It's faster, it's more efficient, and it's also better because you as a person, not necessarily like everyone's got different skill levels, whatever, but most people as a brand new user to a software platform aren't yet experts of that platform, right? They don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies, not to mention their own applications or whatever marketing or sales or strategic techniques they're trying to do. So there's two different limiting factors there, and AI can help you overcome both of those, right? AI is an expert. As long as the people that are building the AIs for the platforms they're using, it is an expert in their technologies. For example, the Dubb.com AI, right? All the things, nearly all the things that you'd be doing in your Dubb CRM are now replaceable with a voice, right? You want to manage your contacts? You don't have to watch tutorial video about how to import CSV files and adding tags and updating custom properties. That's literally hours of work. It's seconds of conversation. Hey, go into my CRM and make these custom properties and add these contacts, right? That's something that would have been traditionally very difficult for a new user to a new platform, or a non-technical user probably would not have ever been able to do that, right? They would have had to get support with that. And over the years, like with many real estate agents we've worked with, that's one of the things we learned is like, hey, help people with their CSV files, their contacts, their integrations. Those are all things that are complex and technical. And those are things that people used to absolutely always need help with, unless they were themselves very technical. And it's no longer the case. And instead, everything is reduced to plain English conversation, out loud even. You don't even have to be a skilled typist. And this is the major shift. And again, we have people in this room every single day over the age of 70 that have made this first step, that have had that the moment has happened where they're like, I don't need to do this anymore. And I can now do this instead, because this is far easier. And it's now also better, because there's, the old telephone game where you're like, hey, you say something and then you say something and then it gets lost 3 things down. This is the opposite of that, where you don't know what you're asking for. You're not the technical expert in the software, but the AI is. So you come in and ask your telephoned question that's non-expert, non-technical, and the AI is actually going to understand it and translate it and clean it up into the technical instructions, into, modifying your contacts or doing whatever you want to do with the CRM. You want to send a personalized video email to individuals? Do you want to send a bulk campaign, right? A whole newsletter? You can create and send an entire newsletter with AI now. That is something that has been hours of work for a real estate agent on a weekly or monthly basis, several hours to try to generate and craft and curate and send a newsletter to their audience. So hours of work is now replaced with 30 seconds, 60 seconds of conversation. And I think that is the most important shift that people need to be aware of, is that when we're in the world of trading time for money, time for dollars, then that's the most important commodity of our life. And if we can earn more of that time back and actually spend less money, right? Everyone in these sessions earns a minimum of a minimum wage, right? Your work and your stuff is at a minimum, the minimum wage, $7 an hour federally or whatever. And the AI is far more efficient than that. So if you're spending your time even making minimum wage, right, which we're all making more than minimum wage, it's still more efficient. So it's not only a time saving thing, it's a cost saving. It's this shift that needs to happen if you want to stay productive and growing and ahead of the curve moving into this next year. So I haven't shown anything yet. I'm just talking, guys, but this is really the most important thing that I think I can share with anybody watching this video in this training, or anywhere, is the shift is happening, and it's happening right now. And it's the same thing as when people started marketing online, right? When people started mastering their websites and then they took off and they have amazing businesses today. If they're, if they're still around, if they did the things they were supposed to. And the people that didn't, they're gone, right? And the same thing is happening with AI right now, is we have this ability to be a part of the shift, be ahead of the curve, and adapt to the new technology. And then there's going to be everybody else that doesn't, right? And they're going to be far less efficient. And it's going to be like the people still trying to, do the old school way of selling things versus the people making millions of impressions, or, really global businesses that we see today. So that's the most important thing, guys. Be a part of the shift. Come get help, talk to experts, whatever you need to help you overcome whatever the objections you have. Some have it even as the moral, right? Like, oh, AI is doing these bad things for the environment and things like that. It's like, yeah, but so was nuclear bombs, and that didn't stop them from being developed. So do you want to be on the side of, well, and a moral argument is going to prevent me from succeeding in my personal or financial life? There's an argument to be made there, but I think everybody in this room that's not their excuse, right? We're not, oh my God, the AI is sucking up all the water. I just need to learn how to use it to grow my business and protect my livelihood and my family. So if you guys need help with that, that's what we're here for. And if you're not there yet, if you still need to have that moment, you need to come back to these sessions. You need to book your one-on-one. You need to get your hands on an AI tool and start making that shift happen. Because I can tell you, it's unbelievable once you have gone on the other side of the curve. You're doing this far, far less. I can't imagine how many hours we've all wasted trying to figure things out when that doesn't have to be a thing anymore. No more figuring things out. It's ready to go for all of our solutions, at least. And we have experts, humans available every day, or the AI. So no more excuses, guys. Come get some help and let's level you up. Thanks. See you in the next one.